From the Huntington Bank Studio, this is Colts 360.
Colts back at home to face a very familiar foe at Lucas Oil Stadium. We are back in studio with an all-new Colts 360. Coach, how do you use a loss like last week in Denver as fuel moving forward, especially with this division game you have with Tennessee on deck?
Yeah, I think obviously that was a huge game for us. It was a big game, and it didn't go our way. Obviously, we beat ourselves there, but I know that, we're not out of this thing. We're going to need some help, along the way. But I know that, when you play a division opponent at home, you got to be ready to roll. No matter what the records are, throw the records out. We got to have a great week of preparation going into this game.
In a situation like this one, when you kind of have backs against the wall a little bit, what do you find out about your team, what they're made of? What do they find out about each other?
Oh, 100%. I think you find out a lot about your team in these situations. When your backs are really, really against the wall, you got to keep fighting and scratching and clawing. So I know we got great guys in that locker room, and they're resilient as heck, and I know they're going to put in the effort for sure.
And the defensive effort, especially of late, has been outstanding. I want to go to a stat right here because I always got to come with the stats for you. Turnover, of course, on the Broncos' first possession. Indianapolis has not allowed an opening drive touchdown all season long. What has your defense proven this season?
It's a credit to those guys, it's a credit to the players, a credit to the coaching staff, putting them in those positions. And then obviously in that game, it was phenomenal. The 3 takeaways, I think they had 197 yards, 192, whatever it was, under 200 yards of offense. They were on it all day.
When your defense comes up with that many big opportunities, you mentioned all of those takeaways, to put the offense in a good position, what's maybe that responsibility you feel like as an offense to try to capitalize on those?
100%. That goes back to complementary football. And that's what we got to do. When our defense gets a takeaway, we got to go execute on it. You know what I mean? The offense, we got to go execute on it. We got to go capitalize on those situations. And it comes back to complementary football. And we got to get that going. And
one of those guys who came up with a big takeaway, Samuel Womack. He wasn't even here at the very beginning of the season. He came in just after camp as rosters moving around, roster cuts, all of that. What addition has he been for your secondary?
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, it was a 3rd and 1 situation to get that takeaway. He was right in the right spot there. So it's been a good addition. Obviously, the plays he's been making.
Grover Stewart is our guest coming up next in studio. I think that everyone has just this mutual adoration for Grove and what he brings onto the field. What does Grover Stewart do in your locker room? What does he bring?
Really, it starts with the person that he is, the character that he brings to that locker room, and then also how he plays the game. He loves the game. He puts in all his effort into it, everything he does during the week to get ready to go play, and that's why he has success, on Sundays, and just a great leader for our guys.
You mentioned complimentary football. I want to go to special teams because Anthony Gould had a 36-yard return in the second quarter. That's what he was really brought in to do when you saw him within the draft, when you selected him. He's really been patient, waiting for that right opportunity. What has he brought to that position when he finally got that opportunity in the return game?
No doubt. Obviously, getting on the active, obviously you can only dress, a certain amount of guys on game day, but to get him up the last couple of weeks and to get those opportunities, it's huge. You go take advantage of your opportunities, and obviously to get that return in that game was big. It set us up, obviously, to get points.
You're going to see the Tennessee Titans for the 2nd time this season. They are a team that has certainly faced their share of adversity. Season hasn't gone certainly the way that they have wanted it to. What is most dangerous about a team like that that's really motivated to try to play spoiler late in the season?
Yeah, I think with any team, right, it doesn't matter the records, especially a division opponent. You got to show up and you got to show out. That's the bottom line. You got to put in the work because it will. It's going to be a 4-quarter game.
When you face a team, you're guaranteed to face them twice a year within the division. What do you know you're going to get now from this Tennessee team?
Yeah, the thing is, anytime you play a division opponent, they know us, we know them. Obviously, they're probably going to have some wrinkles and stuff. We'll have some wrinkles as well. But I think it's that game within the game, those one-on-one matchups, since those guys see each other twice a year, different techniques that we got to be ready for.
Hey, looking for a great one Sunday afternoon back at Lucas Oil Stadium. Coach, always appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
If I put my hands on somebody, I know I just maul them and beat them and stuff like that. But sometimes I get used to it. I'm gonna just come and knock a guy like that. So Buck always tell me, he was like, if you use your hand, you'll be a monster.
Still ahead, the man in the middle, Grover Stewart, on what he's added to his arsenal to add even more production to the Colts trenches. That's next on Colts 360.
This season, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is teaming up with the Colts to shine a light on outstanding small businesses. Indy's our hometown, and boosting local business is just one way we want to thank this great city. Go to Colts.com/Anthem Spotlight to nominate your favorite small business today. Anthem and the Colts, helping Hoosier small businesses score. Forte Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, proud orthopedic partner of the Indianapolis Colts. At Forte, fellowship-trained physicians and staff provide comprehensive, specialized sports medicine and orthopedic care to active patients of all ages. To learn more, visit forteortho.com. Snickers Rookie Mistake Program is back again this season. Learn how you could win Super Bowl 59 tickets at snickers.com/NFL.
During the holidays, you may think that there is no one jollier than Old St. Nick, but oh man, if Santa Claus could also deliver sacks, TFLs, and pressures, he may come close to the joy that Grover Stewart delivers week in and week out. Our guest here on Colts 360, Grove, you're the best. Like the smile, the laugh, you're always bringing the positivity, you're radiating all that joy and that great energy. You flip that switch though when you go on the field.
Oh yeah.
What happens?
It just, whenever I get on the field, I'm just thinking, oh, I got to beat this man in front of me, and I want to beat him bad. So that's the only thing go through my mind.
And oftentimes you do exactly that. We have seen it time and time and again. How do you strike that balance between that menacing level of intensity, but then also having fun? Because it just does feel like that you're having so much fun when you're out there, when you're on the sidelines with the guys.
Oh yeah. So like, whenever I'm out there, like with the guys, like the guys I done bunt with and all that, it's a great feeling. Like you out there, he out there playing with you, you making plays, he making plays, and it's just, oh man, I'm out here having fun. But then again, I'm gonna beat this guy in front of me too, so.
And the guy most often next to you when each of you are making plays out there, DeForest Buckner. How do you describe the dynamic between yourself and Buck? Not only your play styles, but also your personalities on and off the field.
So I think I'm the guy that be bringing like all the energy and stuff like that to get everybody going. And like, but he's a guy, he gonna take on everything with like full focus. And he just, yeah, I gotta do this. And like, he is a very smart guy. So like, he already like pin and pointing everything. And I'm like, man, how you know that? How you know that? So, like the way we approach the game is different, but the way we play, like he gonna beat that guy in front of him, I'm gonna beat the guy in front of me. It's all the same though.
And you two are both such integral leaders in that locker room. You both have been through a lot within this team. You've been part of teams that have overcome adversity, had backs against the walls, have gone on big runs at the end of this season. What example do you try to set for the rest of the locker room, especially across this defense?
It's a week-to-week game, and like each week, you got to try to be better than last week. And you can't hold on to what happened last week. You got to keep going, and you got to be better. So
getting better every day, getting better each and every week. One thing that I know you strive to get better with, this is something that Devo told me earlier this season, was really you worked on a lot of your hand movement and your hand activity. Can you explain a little bit of that, what your focus was and the production that you have seen from that?
So I'm a very powerful guy, so like—
You don't say.
If I put my hands on somebody, I know I just like maul them and beat them and stuff like that, but sometimes I get used to, I'm gonna just come and knock a guy like that. So Buck always tell me, he was like, if you use your hand, you'll be a monster. I said, but I'm already a beast. He said, well, you'll be a bigger beast. So that's what I've been working on, trying to get better using my hand and playing off my hand and making more plays.
What does that work look like for you? Are there just specific drills you're working?
I'll be striking when I get out my stance, striking, and that's pretty much it. Like just getting conditioned, shoot my hands. So.
Well, one thing that never disappoints, that is your sack selly dance that we see. Can you take me through the dance and exactly what it is? Because I really want to try to learn it and I can't quite pull it off, but tell the people, because it's a specific little move.
So it's an old dance. I guess we was doing it in middle school, and I don't forget the name of it, but it's just something smooth, and I get the rhythm of it, so it's It's a down south thing.
It's a down south thing.
Yeah, but they said it's a what it is, a Texas swag dance. So
With a little Georgia spin on it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little Georgia in there. Well, I recently learned, and I've been around you and Kenny now for years, but I did not realize that you guys had the Georgia connection. Obviously, you're both from Georgia, but you knew one another playing college football, Kenny at Valdosta, yourself at Albany State. Tell me about seeing Kenny when he walked in the building those seasons ago. You were already here because you'd been drafted here, and here Kenny comes recently being signed from being released by the Patriots.
Yeah, so when I seen it, I was at home, and it was a transaction. I was like, let me see who we brought in. And I seen Kenny Moore and Valdosta. I was like, I don't play against that guy, but I just couldn't picture his face. Then when I seen him, I said, man, I've been playing to get it against this guy for 4 years, and I walked up to him. I said, hey, man, I'm glad to have you here. And he was like, yeah. He said, I'm glad to be here because the other team was crazy. I said, yeah. I said, they're going to treat you good over here as long as you do the right thing. And Kenny said, okay. So he still didn't say much. He was like, could you help me like get around in the city and stuff like that? I said, man, listen, I just got here too, so I don't know much, but anything you need, I can help you with. So we just been communicating ever since, and I know every time he have like an event, I try to be there for him. Because I always tell him, I was like, whatever you have, I'll be there, and like whatever I have, he'll show too, so.
How special has it been to share this journey with him, both of you coming from smaller schools, obviously staying here, being career Colts to this point, and finding the level of success that you guys have each had?
I mean, it's a great experience, like having somebody from back home that playing on the same team, you're both playing well, and like we done been here for a good little minute, and we like cornerstones of the Colts, so like it's just a great feeling. Like that's a brotherhood that you'll never forget, and an experience that you'll never forget. So.
And this is a special time of year. There's a special brotherhood among the D-line. You guys, especially this time of year, are doing such a great job of providing service and being of service across the community. What do you guys have planned as a D-line in terms of giving back this year? Because we always look forward to seeing what you have planned.
Yeah, so we're giving Christmas to an organization. I think it's a Bloom Project. So we get those guys, and we'll get them like some nice stuff because of the D-line get fined. So it'd be a lot of money to help them out, and it's just a great thing to see them smiling and happy and like reacting to the Christmas gift that we get them.
Oh, love to see that. And it's always special to have that opportunity to be able to use your platform to do exactly that. And we talked earlier about Kenny Moore II, your fellow Georgia boy. Well, he and Julian Blackman were spreading the Christmas cheer as well. They went shopping to help provide some Merry Christmases for families around central Indiana. Take a look at their trip over to Academy Sports and Outdoors.
If I were a child, I'd like to do this.
Hey, that's fire. What's up, everybody? It's Kenny Moore II.
Julian Blackman.
We're here at Academy Sports doing some holiday shopping.
Come check out what we pick out.
We're out here Christmas shopping for the Bloom Project, as well as Firefly.
I feel like these gifts are for me in there now. I'm so excited.
What would you buy first?
If like I was a kid.
You are a kid.
If I was a kid in Indiana, I'd probably get a Halliburton jersey.
Fever jersey.
That look like, do you want to build a snowman?
I might keep this for myself.
Oh my gosh, the Caitlin Clark jersey? They're gonna like this right here. Yeah, you're gonna like it.
I mean, they say the best gifts for other people is whenever you shop for yourself.
But
I think somebody will like that.
he said shop for myself? Oh, easy. Binoculars? Frisbee. That's good. I'm getting this basketball. If it's me, I'm ball this life.
But how was it for you growing up on Christmas?
I remember there was one Christmas in particular where we weren't expecting to have anything, but you know, by the grace of God, the church funded us up for Santa for my family, and that's something that I remembered. And so being able to be here, being able to do this, to give back, means a lot. Like it just brings me back to the roots of you know what happened when I was younger.
I know exactly what you're saying, because you know I'm one of 7 kids, only boy. On Christmas or birthdays and stuff, you gotta have a little humility. Too precious.
this is fitting somebody for sure.
And my mom used to make these fire sandwiches at home. Appreciate that, Mom.
One of you is gonna have it. Oh, that's good. It's always humbling being able to give back, to be able to look outside of ourselves, take some time to pause and to give back. So just very excited to be here.
I hope they like all the gifts and presents that we have this winter.
Happy holidays.
Happy New Year.
For the Colts, accessorize this running game, because the running game's been really good with Anthony Richardson coming back to the lineup.
Coming up, as the Colts return home to Lucas Oil Stadium, voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, returns to the studio to preview a Colts rematch with the Tennessee Titans.
Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open to the Indianapolis skyline. Bud Light, the official beer of the Indianapolis Colts. Enter now for your kid's chance to be Junior Blue at the next Colts home game. Visit Colts.com/Meyer Junior Blue to enter today. It's time now for the Forum Credit Union Question of the Week. Anthony Richardson has led several game-winning drives recently. Who holds the Colts record? Peyton Manning with 45 game-winning drives. Visit the Forum Credit Union Fan Forum section of Colts.com to interact with other fans online. Forum Credit Union, helping members live their financial dreams. Pistol formation. Anthony Richardson keeps it off edge. Inside the 20. He's at the 15.
Gone! 10-5. Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! It's Anthony Richardson with a gallop to the end zone. The Colts have drawn first blood in Denver. It's the Colts 6, Broncos nothing.
The Christmas countdown is on. We are officially single-digit days away from celebrating Christmas. Matt, I don't know about you, but I still have plenty of things to cross off my shopping list. I am a procrastinator. I wait until like the night before. I'm stalking the Amazon tracking, hoping that it shows up, hoping that Santa comes a little bit early to my doorstep for those last-minute things that I need.
Are you the type of person that waits to look at Amazon and see what date the delivery of the gift will be?
100%.
And that swayed what you're buying for person X, Y, or Z.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Guilty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Because then I end up going to CVS. And then, I was in aisle 4 at CVS and I had to find something on the last.
It's not because we don't love you. We just, we have busy schedules.
Well,
we're sorry.
It's a packed schedule this time of year.
Right.
And the Colts, of course, have their second matchup of the season with the Tennessee Titans Sunday at Lucas Oil Stadium. What should be on the Colts Christmas wish list for a win over the Tennessee Titans?
Oh, man, I love that. When I was a kid, I would go see Santa at the mall or, breakfast with Santa. And sometimes you get up there, Larry, and you ask for accessories for toys that you already have. You need this, piece of equipment for this action figure, if you're talking about little boys and girls. But I think with that in mind for the Colts, accessorize this running game, because the running game's been really good with Anthony Richardson coming back into the lineup. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. That's kind of the identity now of this Colts offense with AR back at quarterback. They've really done a nice job of establishing the run. They're over 144 rushing yards in back-to-back games. They actually posted 149 against the Denver Broncos last Sunday, which was the most that the Broncos had allowed in a game all season long. So, Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson have done a nice job. And you look at the season in totality, when the Colts have been able to establish the line of scrimmage and when they've been able to afford themselves the ability to stay in games with the running game, more often than not, they're winning. They're 6-1 this season when they rush the ball at least 28 times. And that one loss was to Denver, and I would argue they should have won that football game, but obviously some things went screwy there in the second half. But they're 0-7 this year, the Colts are, when they rush for less than 28 attempts in a game. So I think it's good to build upon those things in the final 3 games of the season. And again, identity-wise, that's who the Colts are, and that's who they are, and I think that's who they're going to be now going forward.
So that's the main gift that you're unwrapping, first and foremost, for the offense. How about the little stocking stuffer that's going along with the offense?
Yeah, offensively, you need to ask for better results inside the passing game. There's no doubt about
about that. The Colts have thrown for less than 200 yards in 7 of the last 9 games. Anthony Richardson now has started 10 games. He's been less than 50% completion percentage in 8 of them. And so who he is right now as a quarterback, we talked about it again in weeks prior, is he's a really good rushing quarterback. You don't want to take that away from his ability to move the ball in the running game. And he's also a really good deep ball thrower. We see that with Alec Pierce routinely throughout the course of the season. But everything else, the intermediate throws, the big gains in the middle of the field, that's where we're seeing a lot of the inaccuracy and a lot of the inefficiencies from Anthony Richardson in the passing game. So you want to smooth those things out here in the last 3 games of the season, and hopefully these last 3 can act as a springboard for him going into next year, where obviously that's going to be the main focal point of this offense in the offseason, is getting Anthony Richardson better as an overall passing quarterback.
Well, I like to save the big present for last. That's the one I want to unwrap. That's what I always hold off on. What do you have as the last thing we're unwrapping here?
Well, for those big, giant toys that you like to wait for the last minute to unwrap, you need batteries. You got to have batteries. You got to give them juice, for those big toys. And you always have to ask Santa for those things as well. And here late in the season, I want to put some new batteries in Laiatu Latu and Adonai Mitchell, the top rookie draft picks for the Colts in the first and second rounds this year. Kind of hit the reset button on those guys. I think they can get more out of them here down the stretch. Latu's got the 4 sacks, and he's been really good against the run, and he's also been just razor thin, close to getting more sacks, but I think he's capable of more. Same thing with Adonai Mitchell. I mean, he had the bad play, obviously, last week on that throwback back to Anthony Richardson that got picked off and then returned for a touchdown. I think he'll learn from that, but, he's only got 2 catches in the last 4 games and only 20 catches on the season. So, again, these last 3 games for those 2 guys are really big as springboards for their sophomore campaigns coming up in 2025.
Well, look forward to the Colts unwrapping a win. How about that one? That's the gift that you want to see underneath the tree this weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium. You'll be there. I'll be there. Look forward to seeing our Colts fans there back at home Sunday for that 1 o'clock kickoff. And we'll be back next week with an all-new Colts 360.